on medium wave 450.5 meters corresponding to 666 kilohertz. Welcome to the evening transmission Sanj Dale. We begin the transmission with comments from the press.
This is All India Radio. You will now hear comments from the press. The Economic Times in its editorial title, "A Firm Step Closer to Gender Justice," writes, "The passage of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2019 is a welcome step towards gender equality and justice. In passing the bill, Parliament has undone some of the injustice inflicted on Muslim women by restricting them to a personal law that denies them many rights. Opportunistic politics had aggravated this injustice in 1986 when the law was amended to deny divorced Muslim women the right to maintenance. The present law should lead on to equality for women of all faiths in marriage, divorce and inheritance. The legislation has two goals. First, it makes the practice of instant triple talaq, known as talaq-e-biddat, illegal and a cognizable offence. And second, it gives divorced Muslim women the right to alimony and child support. The legislation makes concrete the August 2017 ruling of the Supreme Court, finding the practice of triple talaq to be against constitutional morality, the dignity of women, and principles of gender equality and equity guaranteed by the Constitution. In keeping with the principles of equality, it extends the right to maintenance and support, of which Muslim women had been deprived in 1986. The opposition to the bill on the ground that it criminalizes divorce, unlike in the case of non-Muslims, ignores the resistance to democratic norms raised on unsustainable theological grounds that frames the discourse. Government should use this moment to build on the gains to address the gender inequities that persist in civil and personal laws across the board. It should ask the Law Commission to review all personal or civil laws to ensure that these do not violate the fundamental rights guaranteed to all citizens by the Constitution. This will lead to an honest national dialogue on a uniform civil code." The Hindustan Times in its editorial title, "Assert Authority, Maintain Peace," says, "The past week has seen a sudden spurt in activity in Jammu and Kashmir. National Security Advisor Ajit Doval visited the state. The centre deployed additional paramilitary forces. There are reports of possible threats in the run-up to August 15. The centre, in line with its decision to empower the third tier of government in the state, has also decided to encourage each panchayat to hoist the national flag on Independence Day. There have been rumours that New Delhi will revoke Article 35A, which gives a degree of autonomy to the state by prioritizing permanent residence. And the Bharatiya Janata Party (BJP) has stepped up internal deliberations for the assembly elections. The Tribune, in its editorial title, "Curbing Honor Killing," writes, "The nationwide focus on mob lynchings has overshadowed another crime that is no less abominable: honor killing. Cocking a snook at the law, some families punish their own offspring and his or her partner for marrying or intending to marry against their wishes. Ironically, the murderous acts brings disgrace to the guilty families rather than resorting their supposedly lost honor." In a commendable step, the Ashok Gehlot government has introduced the Rajasthan Prohibition of Interference with the Freedom of Matrimonial Alliances in the Name of Honor and Tradition Bill in the Assembly. The bill is aimed at making honor killing a cognizable, non-bailable and non-compoundable offence with a sentence ranging from life term to death penalty. The Hindu, in its editorial title, "Logged Out," says, "It is a matter of global concern that deforestation in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil is increasing rapidly since January, when Jair Bolsonaro took office as president. Satellite images show that about 4,200 square kilometers of forests have been destroyed up to July 24 under the new government. While most nations tend to view their land and forests through the narrow prism of short-term economic gain, climate science data show that they play a larger environmental role. The Amazon basin, spread across millions of hectares in multiple countries, hosts massive sinks of sequestered carbon, and the forests are a key factor in regulating monsoon systems. The rainforests harbor rich biodiversity and about 400 known indigenous groups whose presence have prevented commercial interests from overrunning the lands. Much of the Amazon has survived despite relentless pressure to convert forests into farmlands, pastures and coal mines, and to build roads. That fragile legacy is now imperiled, as Mr. Bolsonaro has spoken in favor of reasonable exploitation of these lands. Although the forest code has not been changed, his comments have emboldened illegal expansion into forests. Armed gold hunting gangs have reached tribal areas, and the leader of one tribe has been murdered in Amapa in an incursion. These are depressing developments, and the Brazilian leader's criticism of satellite data and denial of the violence are not convincing at all. Those were the comments from the press, presented to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.
You were listening to comments from the press. We now bring you the program highlights for this evening and tomorrow.